This is what we've been waiting for, the Pennsylvania search warrant for Bryan Kohberger, and now we see a few more things about him that we didn't know before. This search warrant describes what police went through when they sought out the alleged perpetrator of the University of Idaho slayings, and how they were looking for Bryan and when they finally moved in to arrest him. They describe the house on Lambston Drive in Chestnut Hill Township in Monroe County in Pennsylvania. They call it a single-family residence with white siding, tan foundation, and dark-colored shutters. An attached garage is located on side B. A small shed with a door and windows is located at the rear of the property, along with all curtilage of property. Curtilage is an area of land around a house and forming one enclosure with it. So at this point, they already knew Michael Kohberger, Marianne Kohberger, and Bryan C. Kohberger lived at the residence. Even if Bryan Kohberger's parents, his mom and dad, were likely none the wiser about police closing in. A violation of criminal homicide is listed. The date of the violation, November 13th, 2022. The warrant was approved by the DA. The warrant shall be served as soon as practicable and may be served anytime during the day or night, but in no event later than 4:35 p.m. on New Year's Eve 2022. Police were able to make that deadline. They did seize important property from Bryan's parents' home. It was December 30th, 2022 at approximately 1:25 a.m. when police made entry into that home. What did they get? Well, the items collected or seized are listed below. One Defiant silver flashlight. Defiant flashlights come in many different shapes and sizes. Why did police seize a silver one from Bryan's home? Did they have an inkling that he may have used that flashlight around 4 a.m. to perhaps climb down the hill behind 1122 King Road and light his way in the night into the home and into bedrooms? Police also seized 4 medical-style gloves, a white Arizona Jean Company large t-shirt, a Champion Wazoo Cougars large black sweatshirt, a pair of black and white size 13 Nike shoes. It's interesting that it wasn't a pair of Vans shoes that was seized, but we'll learn more. At least we know the 6-foot-tall Bryan Kohberger likely wears a size 13 Nike shoes if these shoes that were seized from his parents' home indeed belonged to him. A pair of black Under Armour socks, Under Armour black large shorts, Under Armour black boxers large, 1 buckle swab. They got DNA from Bryan, of course, so they could match it to the DNA, the touch DNA found on the K-bar sheath that was discovered near Maddie Mogan back in Idaho. A lot of this application features duplicate information and a whole bunch of details about the items to be searched and seized. Any and all of the following which may be found on his person, whether it's bodily fluids, knives, sheaths, other weapons, documents, records, medications. Specifically, any property belonging to victims Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, but also anything belonging to surviving roommates Bethany Funk and or Dylan Mortensen. Any documents, records, or data related to 1122 King Road in Moscow, and any of the victims or surviving roommates. Clothing to include but not limited to dark shirts or pants, masks, or shoes with a diamond pattern sole. We know that a latent diamond pattern sole print was featured in the previous affidavit, and we know that witness Dylan spoke of seeing someone dressed in dark clothing. It's no wonder cops were looking for dark clothing related to Bryan Kohberger in Pennsylvania. DNA, footprints, fingerprints, fibers, animal or human hair, anything containing information indicating, suggesting, or related to violence, a fight, or motive, hostility, or any of the same. They did collect 4 samples of Bryan Kohberger's DNA by buccal swab taken from the inside of his mouth and/or whole blood samples, alcoholic beverages, any intoxicants, a whole bunch of data, all electronic devices, all text messages, app chats, cloud storage, notes, voicemail, anything related to the vehicle or ownership or possession of Bryan's vehicle will be listed too. All vehicles in which Kohberger has access to, including but not limited to a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra. This is where police talk about staking out Bryan Kohberger until the point at which they were able to arrest him. On Wednesday, December 28, 2022, the Pennsylvania State Police was requested to assist the Moscow Police Department and FBI with a homicide investigation which occurred on Sunday, November 13th, 2022. As part of this investigation, we reviewed reports and affidavits prepared by the Moscow PD establishing probable cause for issuance of search warrants related to this investigation, which are included in this affidavit of probable cause as Exhibit A. Furthermore, investigators began physical surveillance of the property and area of 119 Lambston Drive, Chestnut Hill Township, in the early morning hours of Tuesday, December 27, 2022. Observed Bryan Kohberger walking near this residence. Additionally, Kohberger's vehicle was observed entering the Indian Mountain Lakes development on December 16, 2022, and the vehicle is still believed to be on the premises. Investigators are also monitoring Kohberger's cell phone, which appears to be in the same vicinity of this residence. On Wednesday, December 28, 2022, while conducting surveillance, investigators observed Kohberger traveling throughout Monroe County and arriving back at his residence on Lambston Drive. Based on this, your affiants believe Kohberger is located inside this residence and in possession of items related to this investigation. Therefore, cops requested a search warrant be issued for the search and seizure of all items listed in the items to be searched, along with forensic processing of all items. They requested all digital devices seized to be forensically examined in a controlled environment at some future date and until such examinations are complete. Additionally, based upon the serious and violent nature of these crimes, including risk of general public safety, they requested a nighttime search warrant be issued to execute this search warrant at any time and the affidavit of probable cause to be sealed. They did their job. This Exhibit A is the probable cause affidavit we've already read through in a prior video. I can link it below if you want to hear the whole thing, but it describes the events of what happened when cops discovered all the victims on November 13th. So that's what we've learned. We've learned a little bit more about this case. And we've also learned recently that the 1122 King Road house is scheduled to be demolished perhaps as soon as this semester.
Boarded up and pretty much ready to be demolished. The owner has gifted the home to the school, which says it will be destroyed sometime this semester.
Which could be as soon as May, which is a little worrisome. We might talk about that in a future video. For now, we'll close with Romans 10:9 through 10. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Thanks so much for watching.